Okay, GSPRO fans out there, a new one for you today. Atlas Valley Country Club. Courses are still coming out faster than I can play them, even with a daily video channel. And so it's pretty interesting that I don't know if I've played any course twice except for like some par 3s and maybe the Masters. But other than that, I have to keep up with these course designers who are going absolutely nuts. First hole, we're just hanging out on the left side of the fairway and the green, and it rolls out of the par circle straight into a 3-putt, we think. Now I would normally push fast forward here. However, on this beta version that you can download, the fast forward spacebar throws you into like a flyover, stare at the ball, flyover, stare at the ball loop as you try and fast forward, and so I found that to be kind of not convenient. I sent it in to support. They did not talk back to me. Seemed like a good swing at least, but definitely way right with that big hill, and now trying to find something over the bunker but not past that circle, and unfortunately that is back-to-back bogeys to open up Atlas Valley Country Club. If I remember this round correctly, it's not a great start, and then I just kind of psych myself up and just like play better for the rest of the round. So we'll see if that's the case. Another bad drive here on 3, leaving a tree in the rough, and that's kind of a hosely shank, which has been it's been happening far too often for someone who normally doesn't do it ever. A good chip eventually, but that's a bogey. And 1, 2, and 3 bogeys to start. A par 5 upcoming, maybe some reprieve here. So it's interesting. I was telling myself, you gotta swing slower, and I'm definitely have a slower backswing, but I can still see myself rushing the downswing, and it's like, how short of a swing do I have to actually have in order not to rush it? That came out super low and hot. We're still in the rough though. It's like we haven't played one shot from the fairway. That one almost gets wet in the little river, but sits in the 3-putt zone, and we have done back-to-back bogeys to start at Atlas Valley. White tees, normal elevation for me. What 6,100, that's just crazy. I mean, if I'm gonna hit 6,100 spin, I should hit a different club. This club thankfully clears all the trees. Maybe even this last one, not quite. It's kind of in the way. Go under the tree, over the pin, into the rough. This is a par 5 though, so hopefully a chip here and we can end the streak of bogeys. We do, with a par on 5. So let's see if I can answer the call, so to speak, and have a little bit better results the rest of the round. Not starting off good on 6 with a very short hit with a club that should have went much farther. The chip gets in the par circle though, And a par on 6 going to 7, which is a short par 4. And it's time to go after it here. Let's get a birdie on the board. 6,800. That's just crazy. That looked kind of heely. It does have enough, but it's just left of the pin. Safely on the green though for a par. Dropping down here to a uphill par 3, 191. And that is also short. Hopefully that comes back off the green so I have an opportunity to chip, or else that's going to be another bogey on the board at 8. And it is a bogey on the board at 8. Here's what I'm talking about with that space bar. In the beta version, this is what happens when you hit the space bar to try and fast forward. It did fast forward, but then it locks you into this, and then it gets rid of all of your metrics and stats and minimap. You gotta go in and push escape to get those back, which I find out here in a second. Spin down a little bit, and 135 remaining. So yeah, escape brought all that back. 132 hooked, heading towards a bunker, gets a good bounce, sits up in the rough, 15 yards away. Just trying to keep pars going at this point. I thought that came out too hot and too low, but it ended up being okay. And we are +5 through 9, going to the 10th here, trying to settle the ship a bit. Cool hole here, lots of like winding rivers around this par 3. Just over the circle for a birdie, and checks up nicely there for a par. 11th hole brings a par 4, 3, 6, 7. Still at par plus, I mean, still at +5, and looking to just kind of stay there. Spin coming down a little there to 3,800. Still not quite figuring out how to hit a driver. Just left of the hole, but again, good distance and good direction. 380, another straightaway par 4. Atlas Valley as a whole, we have some very interesting holes with creeks and water and, you know, split fairway, and then half the holes just straight up and down fairway to green, nothing in your way, no fairway bunkers, just some trees. Things you probably should be able to take advantage of if you were a good golfer. Me on this day, not able to do it in the first half. In the second half, steadying a little bit with a bunch of pars. And the 13th hole is a scoreable par 4, but not if you go on the other side of these trees. Just chipping a hybrid, and it actually got through the trees pretty good. Ended up just over the green. Landing on the fringe, killing the spin, rolling down the hill, safely in for a par. That was a better shot. 14th hole is a par 5. 2 spinny, 2 out to in. Ends up on a hill under a tree. Just trying to clear it and See, I should just hit the 3-wood. The 3-wood, same club head speed, ball speed down, only about 5 to 6 miles per hour, and then spin is consistently at 3 or lower with the 3-wood. Alright, 15th hole, home stretch. It's another par 5. We're still at +5, and that is a moonshot. Spinny and high. Still a long ways away. Laying up or not. Laser beam right at it. Sit. Oh man, shot of the day. Par 5 laser beam under a tree. 13-degree launch. 2600 spin. Ends up next to the hole for an eagle. And the score all of a sudden dropping to +3. Inspired by that last shot. The par 3 16th is a good looking one as well. Sits up just right of the hole. And we're going to the nemesis holes 17 and 18. Big dog leg. Tiny fairway. One way to keep it straight is to spin it at 6,000. Not what I would recommend, but it is a way to keep it straight. You could also just hit an iron. Trying to find 170. And finally hitting irons a little better. Maybe that's 140, sorry. But either way, better swing, better contact. Came in a little hot, but it's still a par. The most interesting hole on the course right here, 18. You get a split fairway, elevated green. We get the winding river through the Atlas Valley. And we end up just in the rough, 96 yards away, trying to go up the hill. Looking for a big finish here after a miserable start. It looks pretty good. Finding its way into the birdie circle. You stop right there, you dirty dog. And it does. What a comeback. Eagle birdie finish, 74 on the card. Make sure to check out Atlas Valley. Comment below what you thought of the course, if you didn't mind the straightaway holes, or if you would have preferred some more of those winding, rivery split fairways and stuff. Comment below, like, subscribe, you know the drill, and we'll see you at the next one. Peace.